So guys, I've been researching hard on what my next bag purchase should be, and we have a few contenders. Let me know what you think. Hello, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. So just to get you caught up, I have budgeted for one more bag purchase for the year, and I have decided that for my next bag, it has to meet all 5 of my perfect bag criteria, especially for when I travel. Now, I do have an entire video on what those criteria are, but just to summarize, 1, the bag needs to be small, but not too small. 2, the bag needs to work for both day and night. 3, the bag needs to be easy to pack. 4, the bag needs to be versatile in terms of how it can be carried. And 5, the bag needs to be made of a durable material. So thank you to those of you who have commented on that video, because some of the bags here are directly inspired by you. So the first contender is the Celine Trio. Now, while it is discontinued, these are surprisingly easy to find on the pre-loved market, typically between the $500 to $800 range, so well below its original retail price. Now, I'm gonna admit, this is purely an influenced contender, as in, I've seen so many people on social media brag about this being like the perfect travel bag that I'm now pretty convinced that they just might be right. So this bag does check all the boxes, even in like the larger size, measuring at 9 inches in length. I don't think it's too big to crossbody. You can convert it into a simple evening clutch. It's flat, which means it's super easy to pack. And while the material is typically in a lamb or a goat skin, so it can be considered delicate, honestly, I'd be buying it pre-loved, so I wouldn't sweat too much about its future durability anyway, because to be honest, when you do find them on the pre-loved market, they tend to be a little bit dinged up, or well-loved, I should say. And the 2 added bonuses here are 1, the price, and 2, the fact that it would take up almost 0 space on my bag shelf. Now, my one drawback is that yes, while this Celine Trio does check all the right boxes, I just cannot ignore the fact that this bag doesn't get me overly excited, you know? It would be the equivalent of buying toilet paper. I know I'd put it to good use, but the thought of buying it just doesn't excite me. Next on the list is the Loewe Flamenco bag. Now, this is another influenced contender. I mean, Loewe market this as a clutch that artistically takes on the aesthetics of a flamenco skirt, but come on, Loewe, it is a drawstring pouch. There is nothing revolutionary here. In fact, I'm assuming most fashion historians would argue that this is one of the oldest bag designs out there. Nonetheless, I can see the appeal. I would say the flamenco bag, again, ticks all the right boxes. Now, I may opt for a size up from the mini if I want to cinch it shut with all the stuff I want to put in it, but if not, it at least has a magnetic button closure for some security. The mini measures about 9.5 inches in length, and the regular, which I think is the next size up, is almost 12 inches in length, which sounds a little long, but I just don't think it will feel overly big when it's cinched up. You can use this crossbody or as a clutch, so points there for versatility and its ability to transition from day to night. My favorite part is that it's easy to pack because of how soft and squishy the leather is. Now, I'm not sure how durable the smooth Napa calfskin leather is, but then again, just because I feel like the bag is meant to be squished and cinched, I think even if you do get it a little scuffed up, it'll probably be less noticeable compared to, let's say, if this bag was a structured, smooth leather bag. So again, all in all, a super tempting, super practical bag. However, I just don't know if I 100% feel comfortable paying that much for a simple drawstring pouch. I mean, these retail for $2,000 for the mini and $2,500 for the regular. And because it is a newer bag, there's just not a whole lot of these available on the pre-loved market yet. When you do see them, they tend to be a smidge below retail. So that's a definite option if I wanted to just save a little. Now, I'll also throw in this next Loewe bag as a secondary contender, and this one would be the Puzzle Fold Tote Bag in the mini size. Now, these retail for approximately $1,600, and the number one thing that drew me to this bag is simply that it folds up. Like, that's it. Oh, and I guess it has a crossbody strap. Now, someone in the comments brought up another criteria of security, and I think that's a great one. And while I don't have that as one of my main criteria, I definitely do have some concerns that this is a completely open tote, and I would need to have a bag within a bag situation for me to feel comfortable using this. But I really do love the fact that it folds completely flat. So props to Loewe for designing a bag like that. Like this, to me, this is so much more innovative and revolutionary than a drawstring pouch. I mean the flamenco skirt inspired bag. Along the same lines as the flamenco bag, now please don't laugh, especially since I've openly criticized this bag multiple times, but it would be the Chanel 22. So just to clarify, this is not a serious contender, in the mini size too, to be exact. But if I were to be honest, the mini Chanel 22 kind of checks a lot of the boxes, and it's actually very similar to the flamenco bag in many ways. So like, think about it. In the mini size, it's small but not too small. It measures about 7 inches across. It has the same magnetic closure feature for security. Granted, it won't, or should I say, you shouldn't try to cinch it if you don't want to ruin the leather. It can work as an evening bag, maybe an edgier evening bag, also because it is Chanel. It's a trash bag, so it's easy to pack. It's got straps. Now, I can't really speak about the durability of the leather in different types of weather, but let's just say if it's snowing or raining, it is small enough so it can easily tuck into a jacket. But good lordy, for the price, like absolutely not. As much as price isn't a factor for me at this point, because the goal is just to find the perfect bag that meets these criteria, regardless, I just have to put my foot down on this one. Now, maybe one day, maybe if this falls out of fashion and the pre-love price drops to like maybe $1,000 or $2,000, then maybe, but that's still a huge maybe. And by the way, if you are enjoying this video, I hope you'd consider subscribing. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a professor, I would love to grow this channel, and I can't do that without your help. So thank you to those of you who have subscribed, liked, or commented on any of my videos. Thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. Okay, the next bag. I lied, 3 bags. These are all from Prada. Now, yes, I mentioned that my nylon Prada bucket bag, which I have sitting back here, this is one of the few bags that I currently own that tick all the boxes for me. So that being said, it's no surprise that I went to Prada first to look for my next contender. And I found 2, well, okay, 3, but 2 are a variation of one another. So the first is the Prada 2005 re-edition bag in nylon, which they just released with gold hardware, retails for about $19.50. Now there's also a close sister version, but in the quilted nylon version, and that's a smidge more at $21.50, but I'd consider those substitutes for each other, even though you do lose the canvas strap and the coin pouch for the quilted version. However, one of the pros for the quilted version though is that you do get a leather strap that is adjustable, so you can still do like a short and a long shoulder strap on it, and you still get a chain if you want like a little cute evening bag moment. Now the other bag would be the new 1995 re-edition chain nylon tote bag for $23.50. Now while this one is primarily a long shoulder bag, I love how it fully zips up for being a tote bag, and it's a great size. Like, it's not too big, it's not too small. I think it would be cute if it had top handles for a little like top handle moment, but it's not a big con that it doesn't. So in my opinion, these 3 bags tick all the boxes without a doubt. Now, I have nothing but good things to say about Prada's nylon. I'm so glad they now have the re-edition bag with the gold hardware, because correct me if I'm wrong, I only remember seeing it in silver in the past. My one issue is, would another Prada nylon bag be too similar to the bucket bag I already have that's already in black with gold hardware? Because as much as I would like to get another one of these, say in like a beige, I've never seen a beige nylon Prada bag on the pre-love market that has aged gracefully. So it would again have to be black and with gold hardware for it to look a little bit more elegant. And so would any of these new bags be different enough from the bucket bag I already own, you know? Now the next bag is one that came up several times in my comments, and it's a bag I've talked about before as one that I consider to be an icon, but I've just never prioritized buying it until now. And that would be the Louis Vuitton Speedy in the 25 size with the bandolier strap, particularly in the Damier of Being print. I always forget that these bags can actually fold flat, and that's how they are packaged from the boutique. And once you take that into consideration, that you can fold this baby flat and just stick it in your carry-on, it's game over for me. The 25 size is more than spacious enough. You can top handle it for a little evening out. The dummy bean canvas is extremely durable, and there's no vachetta that you have to worry about. So all in all, check, 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 check. You can find these pre-loved sometimes in excellent condition for a little below retail, so bonus check for that. And the very last contender is the Chanel mini reissue. No surprise here, I've talked about it before. This was also brought up in the comments. The aged calfskin wears a lot better than Chanel's traditional lambskin, so that's a plus. But I would say the main pro for me is that, again, the bag actually folds. Like, I cannot believe how big of a factor that is for me at the moment. But yes, the mini reissue is another bag that comes folded flat, which makes it easy to pack. Also, for a Chanel bag, it's definitely their more low-key option, and you can also find these quite readily available on the pre-loved market between like the 4 to 5K range, and this bag currently retails for around 5K. Unless Chanel has since had another round of price increases before this video makes it live, which I don't think would come as a surprise to any of us anymore. Now, while those wrap up my main contenders, I also want to very quickly talk about some of the contemporary bags I've also considered. We have the Kate Spade Top Handle Nylon Tote. My one beef is that there's no closure like most tote bags, so again, this would need to be a bag within a bag situation as well. I've also considered another Longchamp Le Pliage bag in like the extra small size. I just wish they would release some of these with gold hardware just to make it a little bit more dressy, just because the Le Pliage style is just so casual in my opinion. Now, not too long ago, I bought my mom a Coach nylon crossbody bag, and she absolutely loves it and wears it all the time, especially for when she travels. So I did look into Coach's nylon bags for myself, and while I do think they have several nylon bags that could potentially work, like for instance, like the Swinger bag is a possible contender, I just wish it didn't have the leather panel reinforcement because, again, it just makes it a tad bulkier and harder to pack, harder to make that bag lay flat. The one thing you can say irks me a little about my new bag buying criteria is that aesthetically, I'm a much bigger fan of structured bags. But as you can see, there's quite a few unstructured or hobo styled bags on this list simply because those check a big criteria. So as much as I like the look of structured top handle bags, they really aren't the best for my lifestyle, or I should say more like how I'm wanting to use my next bag purchase. Now, before I sign off, I do have a mini confession to make. Well, several mini confessions. I may or may not have bought a couple of bags over the past few months that just have not made an appearance on my channel for various reasons. So yeah, those don't count as my one last bag purchase. And if you want to see what these are, stay tuned for my next couple of videos. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you back.